Hey, good morning, everybody. I have been moved to put this out there, and today's talk is going to be about your language changing. Your language have changed. Well, what do I mean by your language have changed, right? Language is a means to communicate. It facilitates interaction between people. So, what is going on right now, that language that you've been so dependent on all these years, is based upon a common understanding between you, your friends, your families, and those people within the community. Now, behind the fact that it's either English, Spanish, French, or German, there's a fundamental unspoken understanding that accompany that language, certain inflections, certain dictums, certain way that we go about communicating with each other. Well, that has fundamentally changed. And what you see happening right now is there's a divergence that is taking place. That divergence is about, it's a misunderstanding. It's a failure to reach each other on that level that we normally reach each other at. This reminds me of the story in the Bible about Babylon. When King Nimrod was building the great temple, and God came down and confused the people. There's a sort of confusion that is taking place now. And this confusion is not necessarily sourced in this realm, but it is in this realm that is being manifested. As a result of that confusion, people are failing to see eye to eye. People are failing. They speak one language, they talk about particular reference to something in one area, but the person can't make the connection, even though it's a known area. But it's like people are having two different worlds that they're interacting with. And because of this, you have all this division that is taking place, most notably in the political arena. Now, there's all kind of stuff going on with dissensions of who is saying what and who is doing who to what and who to where and how and when and why and so on and so forth. And a lot of people are latching on to these each little minutia, and they're formulating their opinion about stuff, and they're not seeing the big picture. There's a bigger picture to all of this. And what is pointing to is that separation, right? Has nothing to do with if people are good or bad, or they have good meaning or bad meaning, because everybody acting within their own realm, their own thought, their own mindset is good. They're saying what I'm doing is good. What I'm saying, what I'm doing is the right thing, right? And if each person say what they're doing is the right thing, well, when you look at the end result, there's some distortion and anomalies that is coming out of this, even from people who think they're doing it right. Then you realize then it's not necessarily the individuals you look at, but you look at the system. We have a problem with the system. It's highly imbalanced. And this imbalance is not source. Again, it's not source on this planet in the world that we operate. We operate in a world. When we say, what do you mean you operate in a world? You operate in a world in which there are certain norms, right? What is expected of you? What is standard? And this is just a very, very basic example. So the world that you have, you're born, you get a name, you go to school, you get a job, you buy things, you become successful, not or not, but and then you die. That's a way oversimplification of what is going on. But I'm just trying to explain to you what the world is. When the Bible talk about the world, the end of the world, people get, oh my God, the planet is going to die and so on and so forth. No, it's not a planet. It's actually the world. These are the world that we agree to, our common agreement and understanding, right? So back to the whole point about the language has changed is the fact that when we understand what was in the past, and when I say past, I mean 10 years ago, right? 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and what is going on now, there's a complete difference and a separation. Now, all right, let's put the rubber to the road. What is going on? If you ask 10 people, they'll tell you 10 different things, right? But if you look on the trajectory and if you go back to the past, you'll get some clues as to what's going on, right? The problem is most of us believe what was in the past is mythology, hearsay, and it can't be substantiated, right? I'm here to say to you, what you read of in the past is more real than you can imagine. It's more real than what you're experiencing today. All those mythological creatures and so on and so forth, you know, the Minotaur and the the I can't call them all right now. But all those creatures were actually real. They were actually made by men and other beings from other planets. They were made just like how they're making people now. They're making food. They're doing genetic modification and stuff like that. You know, 10 years ago, you would say, no, no, nobody can make stuff like that. Nobody can make life. But now we understand absolutely, without any shadow of a doubt, that things are made. They are genetically modified. We have the technology. We are doing it now, right? 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you would say, that's impossible. Not like that could ever happen. When I was going to church, I was hearing things about um, creatures and events and prophecies, and you say, oh my God, those things are so far away, you know, they'll never happen. But we are seeing them happen now. So your language has changed. Look, my admonition to you is to look around, but not just look around, look within your own life, right? As the language changed, so as a priority, so as a symbolism of life, so as the feelings, the emotions. So we need to get conversant. We need to get conversant with that. Conversant means we need to get familiar, right? We need to get familiar with those things. Not just the car and the house. We need to go a little bit deeper. We need to understand the nuances of our emotion. We need to understand how our thoughts affect things. We need to understand the essence. Now, what all of this is leading to is leading it to a different frequency. It's leading it to a different level of vibration, right? So when you get, the closer you get to that point, the words that were spoken of by the Christ, that these things that I've done, that will you do also and greater, right? Because the Christ, right, is representative of something higher than what we're living when we live a basic materialistic life. So the portals are being opened, and as they are being opened, more and more um, elements to the vocabulary are falling into place, right? I will talk about this a little bit more down the road, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. All right. Thank you so much. Remember, please, I'm starting this thing out and I would like for you to like, subscribe, and share this video. Where it goes, I don't know. You know, it could be where you say, you know, Maho, maybe you've finished doing this thing, it's enough. Or maybe there's other levels that this thing is going, right? This is not my personal desire. As I said before in other videos, my brother was the one who keep instigating and say, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. As I've been writing on Facebook and I've been putting out certain stuff, people have been saying to me, oh, you're doing stream of conscious talk, you're doing download. I mean, I'm learning it as I go along. What it is, I'm still discovering it. The only thing I can say to you, what I'm doing is being authentic, right? Thank you so much and see you next video. Remember, like and subscribe.